Yeah, man. Shani Culture here, Hot 97 Culture Movement. This is culture. You understand? And I am here with living legends. You now, listen, if you have ever danced in a dance hall, if you've ever listened to reggae music, if you've ever been to a bashment or anything Caribbean for real, and when I say Caribbean for real, I'm not talking just at a wedding and they play, but maybe even in a wedding, probably in a wedding for sure. You have heard the music of the legendary sounds of T.O.K.
Yeah, man, we're there, man.
You know what I'm saying? T.O.K. You know what I mean? So first off, I want to reintroduce you to the world. You know, this is what I like to do. Because I already stated legendary status, but reintroduction sometimes is a good thing.
Yeah, of
You know what I'm saying? Refresh. So, T.O.K., what does T.O.K. even mean?
I mean, those who know us from the beginning of the journey know that it originally meant touch of class. But, and of course, we missed a few classes, so we're spelling class with K. But within the last probably decade or so, we really refer to it as a tribe of kings. It more means that because each of us is our own king in our own right, and we're like a tribe, we're like a movement. So that's what it stands for, Tribe of Kings. And we big up the Queens, but, you know, it's Tribe of Kings.
Yeah, Tribe of Kings.
Yeah.
I like that. So what was the beginnings of coming together of the Tribe of Kings? Like in terms of, let's go a little bit further back.
Yeah, the beginning.
Yeah, because, you know, there's not many people who have true harmony and have true singing ability. Right. You know, reggae music is a thing where you can get through crooning. In crooning, if you don't know, it's more like being able to hold a note, but not necessarily being like an amazing singer, like vocalist, like a Whitney Houston.
Right.
You know, but you can Bob Marley kind of the crooning. You know,
Yeah.
Bourgeois,
Like
I wanna
chant.
be loved.
Yeah, chant,
you know,
chant,
right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying. But you guys actually have singing ability. So from small, you know, where did the desire to sing come from, and where did that start?
Well, it kind of started in the choir. I mean, we actually did start in the school choir back, you know, in Campion College back in the day, you know, and Flex went to Calabar. So we were definitely influenced by the groups like the Boys to Men and the Shy, and you know, like, you know, watching a lot of MTV and BET. So we wanted to kind of be like that first, I guess, at the time, be that first like a cappella R&B group from the Caribbean. But then, you know, little by little, you know, can't help it, but the Jamaican influence, the dancehall influence just permeated everything, you know. So, so what ended up happening was that you had a mixture of the R&B a cappella vibe that we used to see on TV, with also we used to be the choir at one point in time, mixing now with what's naturally in it, you know, so which is the dancehall culture and the dancehall vibe, and you get a unique sound, which is in essence T.O.K. So through that, we kind of created our own sound.
Right.
And it wasn't easy because there were people on one side. There were some people on one side that were like, "Yo, just do the doo-wop, just do the R&B. You guys are great. Your harmonies are strong. Leave that dancehall foolishness."
Right.
And then there were people on the dancehall side who was like, "Yo, you're not hard enough. You're not street enough."
Give us something.
Yeah. So what we did by exploring being DJs, meaning for the young ones, we're not talking DJs that play music, but like rappers, like wordsmith kind. Two of us do that. Two of us do what you call croning or sing J, but the four of us are proper vocalists as well. So we have the harmonies and we have the individual styles that more fit the dancehall, and we kind of just put it in a melting pot and, you know, created a whole new sound that was never there before and has never been repeated since. So that's kind of what T.O.K. is, you know.
So who found who? Who was friends first, and then say, "Yo, you need to meet my brother."
It was Flex and Alex. Were the two. They actually had a duo called Too Cool. You know,
Too Cool, Too Cool, touch of class, everything was high end.
Yeah. But then we actually got the opportunity to audition for, I think Warner Brothers came to Jamaica and they were looking to form their own Caribbean group. And we kind of went to audition, and that was the first. Well, to prepare for the audition, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to expand this thing." I reached out to Craig. There was actually 5 members at that point, and we kind of expanded it from being a duo to this group. And then we changed fifth members here and there, but it was always the four of us as a core. And by the time we went into the studio, I think it was 5 for the first studio session. And by the second or third song, that member stepped out and it just came to be the four of us.
Right. What was the first tune that you guys ever recorded?
So there was Michael Jackson his nephews had a group called 3T, and they did a song called Anything for You. And we did the dancehall version of
Reggae
that.
version.
How did that go?
I would do anything for you. I would. I'll give you love. I'll give you love.
You sounding and looking like Michael right now, especially with the glasses. You hit the high note falsetto and everything.
Which Michael?
Yeah.
I know. Off the wall, Michael.
But let me tell you, T.O.K, no, Michael is my influence now. He's actually really and truly why I actually started singing. So, that's a compliment right there. And,
Right.
Big ups to him.
Goat.
Yeah.
Michael is a
goat.
That's the
Straight up,
goat.
can have a girl on that for me.
Yeah.
So
Was there any talent shows,
Yeah, we moved from that audition to, the crowd went crazy when we sang. So we realized we had something special. And then we kind of decided that this is what we want to do. At 14-year-old going to high school, your parents not trying to hear that you want to go to the music.
Right. Sure, of course
But
not.
It was very clear to us that this is what we wanted to do. And so we started hitting up like the high school fetes or like little parties.
Barbecues. The barbecues,
yeah. Right. And that went well, and we started to hit the clubs. We had a friend that was hosting a Friday night event, and we went there and we killed that. And then someone at one of those events saw us and said, "Hey, I want to be a manager." And we didn't even know we needed a manager,
Right.
But he came over, and then he was the one that kind of got us some more gigs, but mainly got us into the studio with Sly and Robbie. The legendary Sly and Robbie produced our first track. And that was an eye-opener for us because we had mastered performing live with a whole different technique to sing in the studio, to recording.
Right.
So that was also a learning experience. And we did that for like a year, and then we started to hunt different producers, and we landed around a crew called Main Street. With, at the time, Red Rat, Goofy, General Degree, all these legends were dominating the game. And we went around there and we kind of linked up with the engineer, Richard Brownie, a.k.a. Shams. And he was like the mastermind that said, "Hey, listen, I want to be like the fifth member of the group. I see where you're going." He's a mastermind musically, comes from a rich family of musicians. And I think that's kind of where the magic happened. Like, we already had our skill set, and he came with the beats. It was just this gel, and
What was the first tune that bust?
The first tune, so we did a hit with him and Lady Saw, produced by him with Lady Saw, called Hardcore Lover. And that one got us recognition outside of Jamaica because it rhythm bust. But then our number one was a song called Eagles Cry, Enough Boy I Pose Like a Shatter, with Dave Kelly. I don't know if you guys want to give him a piece of that one.
Yeah. What that song?
That one on him ready. When you're ready, top shotters are no guy. Them ready for die. Them ready for die. Hey, send for the eagle and the pressure we apply. Them ready for die. Whoa.
Enough boy I pose like a shatter. And not fi hide when the eagle them fly. Whoa. Never yet hear shatter. This is what it sounds like when the
Shot. We have a fire upon the hip hop 29.
yeah, so that's the issue, bro.
Yo, that was a big tune in the
Yeah.
dance. For
Respect.
people that don't know, you know what I'm saying?
That made us fly. That was the first song that really got us
boy,
to
yeah,
made us
pose
fly.
like
Man,
a
we came
shatter.
to New York. We
So
came to
wait,
New York.
what is the original of that one again?
That's Prince.
When doves cry,
so we
when
flipped
doves
it
fly.
for the streets, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So, at the time, Bounty Killer had a record called Eagle and the Ark, and him talking about the gun Eagle.
Yeah.
So, like, all right, how do we relate back the street and keep our harmonies?
Right.
And when we flipped the When Doves Cry to When Eagles Cry, it was just a sweet spot.
Right. Now, boy, pose like a shatter.
Yeah.
So then you're taking off. The tunes is moving. You're starting to tour and do shows.
Yeah.
So what's some of the first obstacles that you met, on the road coming from Jamaica?
I would... Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of it, the thing is that the first obstacle that we met is that we're a group now. So, we
Like it's for real now.
Yeah, so we're a group and we're also an individual artist. So when a promoter is coming for an individual artist, the expenses that come in association with having a group is completely different. So the offers that we were getting were kind of crazy. Like it was kind of like some crackhead.
You say offers, what you mean?
Yeah, like for shows.
booking
For the
fees.
shows.
Yeah,
Right,
for
got
performances,
you.
because a promoter now has to think about staying in the black. So he has to think about his expenses in relation to what he's gonna make from the clubs or wherever he's promoting the show. So when we go, it's very different for him because that's 4 hotel rooms, 4 plane tickets, accommodation. That like travel for 4 is different from travel for 1. So we encountered those problems in the beginning. So it was kind of a slow start as far as moving around. So we knew that we had to have monster hits at the beginning in order to move. That was like the first real obstacle that we faced when we decided.
Yeah, like people also want to give us 2 rooms. And we're like, no, not sharing rooms.
You need your
not trying to
space.
hear
But we're
that.
not close like that.
You need your space.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you're making more hits. You're hitting tunes like cause when Footprints hit,
When you cry, I cry. I cry along with you. When you smile, I smile. I smile along with you. When you cry, I cry. I cry along with you. When you smile, I smile. I smile along with you. Baby left homeless.
so now this song hits the airways.
Yeah.
You know, what does that do for y'all?
I think it once again with each hit that is bigger than the previous one, it kind of changes the trajectory even more into a certain direction. I mean, we're already traveling from before, and I think that song Footprints especially resonated with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because this is a song about, hurry up and come back, and his child that died in the bomb.
It's about mourning. It's about how do you basically cope and deal with mourning and deal with loss. And I mean, it came from a personal space, from us. I lost my brother back in 2003, and that's kind of was the thing that kind of inspired the song. You
Yeah, for
understand?
sure.
So it's from that loss I was able to delve into the music, and you know what I mean, because you express yourself in different ways, and it kind of I think of it as just more like divine intervention, because it was really like my heart being poured onto the record.
Yeah.
All of us put our hearts and souls on that record. So
Right.
I mean, people feel it and it resonates with them. So yeah, from that it was like really one of our biggest hits. So
Yeah.
it was loved all across the world.
We've definitely been blessed. There are times when it is kind of clear that divine forces speak through us. You know what I mean? So as you can tell by the happenings before we started the interview, like
would drop
with the drop when I
Casper
dropped
dropped the drop.
mysteriously
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
And T.O.K drop just mysteriously played on air. It's clear that we're traveling with our guardian angels. So it's like it's a thing that we've had for a while, and we definitely appreciate that. But what it is us being able to speak to people without definitely speaking to them, if you understand what I mean. Like, these energies are energies that have consoled people in their time of grief for since we put the song out. People reach out to us, and sometimes when we perform that song on stage, there are people in the crowd, and it's a crowd and it's a stage show, but there are people in the crowd that are crying because it's a release for them for
It's
that
a
pain
big
that
song.
they had they
Yeah.
held inside. So we definitely give thanks for that ability to be able to allow people to let go of some of the stress that they carry.
It touches the spirit in a special
and,
way.
also I just want to add, like, for me at that moment, it was a learning experience for how powerful music is, because we had a lot of hits between the Eagles Cry and the Footprints. There were Money to Burn, Shake It Bam Bam, all kind of hits. So when Footprints came, we were already very up there. There were labels that were interested in signing us, major labels up here. And the thing is, like, you got to do a record like this. You got to do a record like this. It has to fit into this blueprint of what works on radio. And we had done all of these records, and the ones that we were submitting to the major, they were like, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. And for me, I was at a frustrated point where we were living here for a minute working on the album, and I was like, yo, you know what? Let's just go back to Jamaica and do what we do. And we went back, and this is one of the records that we did. And for me, this didn't fit into any of what they said would work on radio. It's not a party record. It's not a girl record. It's not at this BPM. And yet still, it it almost like it changed what can work on radio, on urban radio, when it got added. So for me, it's kind of like, the truth of this is that once you put your soul on the record, it could be way left. I mean, the only other spiritual records I know that hit urban record is Jesus Walks with Kanye, and before with Bone Thugs with Crossroads.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, all right, God, I get what you're saying. Let's just be real to what we feel. Let's express ourselves for the art and wait for it fall. And that was really another side of it. Apart from the spiritual effect for others mourning, it was a wake-up call for me to just be true to my art.
That's the most important thing. They must add that. The most important thing as well is that it's so funny when we go on the road and we're touring and we perform this song, people come to you and say, listen, you said that song Footprints. I remember one specific lady come to you and said, listen, that song is not your song anymore. It's my song. So you see that kind of thing when somebody internalizes it like that and they take a song and it takes, I guess, basically in a sense, a life of its own. Yeah. That is the greatest joy and the greatest feeling that I think you can have as an artist when they, they make it a part of their life and they internalize it and it becomes something that is the whole ever so dear to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's an amazing song that will
you.
definitely stand the
Respect.
test of time and
Thank you,
leave an imprint for centuries. Easy. Some music just lasts forever like that.
Yeah,
Anthems.
for sure.
Easy. So now, have you ever gotten any pushback because especially around them times when you say, let the ego fly and just make a bad man thing,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And then you saying you coming from a boys to men kind of,
Wait,
you
you
know
the thing, man.
You know what I'm saying? Was there ever any like credibility check or people kind of feel like, yo, them not hard? Like,
I think the people who are in Jamaica, they love music no matter what. I tell you a story, a lot of people don't know. Jamaica, in a hardcore dancehall, they'll play Celine Dion, they'll play Cyndi Lauper, they'll play Kenny Rogers, country music. Like, that because we're from Jamaica means we only want to hear shoot them up, bang, bang. You know what I mean? So the people always love our music, no matter what. But industry people try to put us in a box. I think that's the difference. I think really and truly, the streets of Jamaica has always shown us love from day one, and they never really questioned it. They just accepted like, okay, this is a boy band, but it's Jamaican style. It's a little different,
Right.
And as I said, they love all different kinds of music, so it's never been a pushback in the streets. It's more industry people try to say, oh, are you different?
No, man, definitely. But I'm just say as well, 1 or 2 times them try to test we in the streets too.
Yeah.
And we'll fix them up.
Yeah.
But sometimes it have to go so.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all good. Anytime the credit's put to the test.
Anytime they try to test.
Yeah. No,
You let them know that some boy upholds like a Santa. But
Not
we
us.
not there. Exactly.
Exactly.
So now, with groups, there's always been a story, as you go down the line.
Right.
Any group,
Right.
from the Beyonce, Destiny Child, to the Temptations, where has the controversy been? Has there been any breakups or fix up, and how have you managed through that?
This is the reunion. I mean, for the last
So
7
what was
years,
the initial movement
Breakup.
of the breakup?
I feel like
Someone too hype.
Right.
We just get hype. I'm just
Right.
say, yo,
And you know what? I don't even want to say.
Yo, Craig, go ahead. I was just war.
And just a war,
I'll
right?
give you the political answer.
But wait, and let me just fix up because I don't even want to use the word breakup because
Right, exactly.
what breakup never can make up to
Right,
say,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
So it just say
It was a
the
hiatus.
separation, a hiatus.
Right,
What was that? What was started that?
I personally feel like we were doing it for so long that one, we may have lost.
The real answer, the political one.
Yeah,
right?
and it's political, but it's real. It's true,
True.
I'm just polishing it up the best.
Yeah, clean it.
No, I really feel like let me talk for me then. It was a point where I felt like I wanted to do more than just be a quarter of something great. I wanted to show my
Makes sense.
100%.
And wait, just to pause right there. How long have you guys been together?
Yeah,
Let's say from the beginning.
No,
to
my
now.
brother here
It's
doesn't
20
like when I
years?
put dates on the thing.
So you don't
because-
have to put the. But
Listen, basically,
is it
I put
20
this way.
years?
It's It's probably
Over 20 years.
So from
So it's
yeah, and
natural.
it's actually been since high school. You
Right,
understand?
right.
Imagine going into clubs and being able to sing while you're underage.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what I
So
mean? And
it's natural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so-
natural. And for me, I just wanted to do other things as well. I never felt like it had to be one or the other. I never felt like, and I still don't feel like because I have all of we have solo music, all of
Yeah.
us have solo careers. And I've never felt like by doing that, I have to stop being part of the group.
Right.
But I guess at that time, there was a lot of frustration. We're not the best at communicating with each other.
Communication is
so
major.
There are little cracks that end up becoming big gaps after a while.
Because of communication.
Because of communication.
Yeah.
And
So basically, you messed it up for everybody.
me,
No, I'm playing.
I'm one of them.
I'm playing. Nah, everybody plays a part.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
communication, I say all the time, even to my son, it's major.
Yeah.
Even the little things that you think that go without saying,
Yeah.
say them.
Yeah,
You
for
have
sure.
to say them.
It's
You know what I'm
important
saying?
to be explicit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So in moving back as in unison.
But I just want to say also, even within that time that we had the hiatus, I think it was more external because we didn't have a clear communication to the world. So they just felt, everybody's not good. But we're still on our WhatsApp group every day. We're still managing our business. We have licensing. We have a catalog. We did shows. We did concerts, even within that 7-year period. So I think it was more perceived as a breakup because we weren't recording new music together and we weren't putting out music collectively. But we were still brothers. I always say it's like 4 brothers, come from a house and everybody grow up now and they go out and build their own houses. You don't have to break down the family home. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I felt like it was still going. But now we're fully back. Funny enough, we did it for the culture. We did it for people saying to us like, yo,
Culture.
you have
See?
to, I like what you're doing individually, but there's a space. And I'm talking the biggest icons in the game coming to us like, yo, stop playing.
Right. Bring it
We
back.
Need,
'cause
we need it. We need
it
it.
was God sent.
Right.
So-
And you can't play with what gift and talent
together.
God give you. So.
Yeah. So now when you touch them, because even through the hiatus, your music never stopped.
Right,
It was
right.
resonating throughout, like I said, the dance hall, and some kids raise up on it.
Right, for sure.
easy. Any kid who's like, maybe 20,
Right.
know this from 4 and 5 in the house growing up, and they play it. Them DJs now playing it themselves. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Is there certain songs that you hit, certain songs you stay away from? You know what I'm saying? In these times, you want to mix in some of the new. Do you kind of have to stay away from the new because they only want to hear classics?
No, we still create. We have a new single out, No Place Like Home. And I think that's a good record that shows the bridge between the nowadays sound and what we're known for. And when we're doing concerts, we give them the hits, we give them solo stuff, we give them the new record. We mix it up, and I think we will primarily continue to do music that works for us, we're musicians, so if Afrobeats is running the place now or whatever, it's very easy for us to integrate and blend that with what we are because we're harmonies, we're melodies, we're global sounding, and I think we'll continue to mash up everything,
So do you merge some of the Afrobeat kind of
Yeah,
sounds?
absolutely.
and
Yeah, man.
rhythms?
Yeah, man, we have
Fusion
something in the
music,
lab.
yeah, man. Everything, all different genres of music, especially I think T.O.K. we delve into different sounds, different styles, and I think even more on a individual level. You understand? I mean, we all have different loves for different kinds of music, different genres and stuff. So when you get a chance to can experiment and do that kind of stuff, you just delve in and do your thing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's all good. I mean,
So
music
for-
is universal enough, so you can't
Yeah.
change that.
For anybody that says like reggae music fell off mainstream, what you say?
So I would say 2 things. One, reggae music was never for the mainstream. Reggae music was always a voice of social commentary, and it's kind of like
Rebel.
the foundation. Yeah. So you have times when it goes up into popularity, and then we fall off. It's not like it was designed to be there. You know what I mean? In my opinion. But also, I would say that when other genres are outselling us, is because our music and by the volume, just the size of our market, you can't compare a continent to an island. You know what I mean? So it's very easy for people to say Afrobeats now and say, oh, Afrobeats is taking the space of dancehall. No, it's not really that. It's just like you're comparing apples and oranges. And also, we are so close that it's very easy for us to, again, integrate that sound into us. So I've never looked at it as a threat or looked at it as something that's off. I just feel like when that space is open, then it's more opportunity for us to go back up and put the flag out there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, music, just like anything else, it ebbs and flows, So there's a relationship that needs to happen between when it's out there in front of everybody and when it goes into the creative time period where it what's the word? Not morphs. It evolves into a different sound. And in those periods where they said that reggae music was off, maybe you didn't have a lot of Jamaicans on the mainstream, but then there was Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, which is a dancehall track. Rihanna, Work was number one. That's a dancehall track as well. Even as far back as Independent Woman from Neo, that's a dancehall track as well. Like these things were there and they were out. So, dancehall was still mainstream. Dancehall was still at the top of the charts. It might not have been a Jamaican, but it's still the same music.
Right.
So it's only a matter of time before, the true champions of the genre start coming back and putting things out. So.
Do you feel like there is a certain, some secrets to that mainstream sound that maybe Afrobeat has jumped into, that maybe some reggae music has drifted away from?
I think one of the things is definitely what you're singing about.
BPMs, content.
BPM and all that is scientific. All that can be studied and reproduced. But the thing about Jamaicans is that we like to do things unconventional, and from our dance culture to everything that we sing about to the slangs that we create, we're kind of different and we're kind of like trendsetters. So sometimes what we probably need to do is a step back and not be so creative with the wording and kind of look at why is Rihanna why is that working, why is Drake working. Sometimes it's, with Afrobeats, a lot of it's just love, love, love. I mean, Burna Boy said yeah for almost 16 bars.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? So
And it
sometimes
just
we don't need
work.
to be so lyrical. Sometimes one word can be
Yeah,
done.
and
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. And I also don't mean to cut you. I also think that nothing beats infectious melodies. You understand? Remember when you're a child and you learn to speak, the first thing you did is A, B, C, D.
It's a melody before
It's
the-
a melody.
Right,
So you
right.
actually have to start there. And I think the key thing is that the repetition, the melody, that stays. And then after that sticks and stays, then you delve into the words.
Right.
And then, you want to know what it's all about. So I think that's one of the reasons why I think Afrobeat, in essence, also is so successful, because the fact that the structure, the harmonies, the melodies, it's rhythmic, it speaks to your soul, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I mean, dancehall music, we naturally have that as well. The chanting sound and that kind of thing, that kind of brings that same energy. So I mean, that's one of the reasons why that kind of helps as well.
love
I
it.
think word content is important.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't say yeah first. I do any Burna Boy. I think I do any. I probably do any.
Chris Brown.
Chris-
Yeah.
No, that
I mean,
never
Usher.
Chris Brown.
Usher.
But hear the difference now. Donor saying yeah. That's
yeah.
what even saying yeah. So it can be like all different melodies with this
I
one word.
got to even way back. Yeah. We both
You know?
And there's a close tie with Jamaica and Ghana too.
Of
Like
course,
the
yeah,
tribes
yeah.
was
For sure.
brought
That's where we're from,
direct from
100.
Ghana.
Yeah, that's
You know
where
what I'm
we're
saying? To Jamaica dropped off
Ghana,
in the
Nigeria.
Caribbean.
That's our home.
Yeah, so it's a direct linkage.
Yeah, for sure.
So in terms of what people can expect now, what are people gonna hear from T.O.K moving forward?
New music. We have a lot of other things on the merch side planning. World tour. We hit Japan and the Asia side in the summer. Hopefully we're back for like Hot 97 concert.
For sure, on the reggae and soca tip.
Straight out there. Just straight out there.
On the reggae tip,
From Jah ears to,
Yeah. But
to the stage.
Yeah, exactly. But basically, it's just reintroducing ourselves, like
Yeah.
opportunities like this to reintroduce ourselves and re-engage through this new, this social, TikTok, all that is a whole new space. And as you mentioned, we have stuff that are already trending there. So it's not right now to just capitalize on that, put a face to the name, put a name to the song, and just build on that, and just never stop again.
Right. So can you give us a quick sample of one of the new pieces?
Yeah, for sure.
Anywhere we go, we a big girl, them a follow it. Respect loud in the streets, them a honor it. No, you don't try running, you wanna wander away. You never graduate from the street side academy. Yeah.
Rep for your city,
Chop.
the whole block with me. There's no place like home. Grimy,
gritty, the whole block with me. There's no place like
Hop, hop,
home.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. T.O.K.
Yeah, in the building.
Big respect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Love
man.
y'all. Like I said, living legends. You know, you've contributed to this reggae dancehall crossover in a way that many have not been able to do.
Thank you, sir.
You know, and made this music go worldwide and global.
Appreciate
you know,
that, man.
Many people have tried to achieve what you have accomplished, and it is an honor to sit with you.
Appreciate that, man.
And I wish nothing but success and longevity in everything that you do, and continue to spread the soul of your hearts through this universal thing we call music. You know, because as we know, you know, as we said with Burna Boy and the rest of them, you don't even have to know the language.
Right.
You know, but you know the language.
You feel it, yeah.
Yeah, you feel it, and it's saying something to you, you know, and you guys have captured that.
Yeah, man. I wanted to add something regarding to the Afrobeats, though.
Yeah.
Because one of the things when Afrobeats started to come up there, people used to say to me and us that, yo, the sound of the Afrobeats, the whole melodies that they have, it sound like T.O.K. When they really listen to some of the songs, the chanting and, you know, stuff like that is a real T.O.K. sound. So for us, it's like we feel good to know that the sound that we developed as a group growing up is like, it's also being used
Influencing
now.
a whole.
Yeah, so
Right.
T.O.K, so just putting it out there, Afrobeats, Burna Boy, Whiskey, the whole on the song.
Holla at your boy.
Say you're welcome.
I like the Tribal Kings. You see me I say, welcome.
The Tribal Queens, you know what I'm saying? Tribal
man.
Kings. Yeah, it's clear because we know Africa, Jamaica had
deep
African roots,
connection.
and that showed in the music, but it's clear that Ghana and West Africa have taken influence from Jamaica. And that sound that has crossed overseas, and you are a part of that. For
sure.
So it is almost undeniable.
And we can't
that
wait
they-
to hit over there because we've been in Africa, but only the east and south side. So I know whenever we drop in Ghana, we drop in Nigeria, it's gonna be a movie. So
Movie.
yeah, man, big up to the people over there. We soon come so
See?
forward.
T.O.K. Yo, this is Culture in the building. Represent for the squad, yo.
Up there.
Hot 97. All right, bless. Boom.
Hot
T.O.K.
97.
Boom.